What's up, people? I'm Shaggy the Opinionated Hippie. This is part 4 of my reviewing and ranking MOE's archival concert release series, Warts and All, volume 4. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to show where I would put this one amongst the other 3 I've already talked about. But yeah, this one came out, I don't know, like 20 or so years ago at this point. Awesome dragon on the cover. And yeah, this, of the 4 released so far, I think this one maybe has the most like eclectic energy. Each set has kind of jams all over the place, like middle of the song jams, a little diverse. A lot of the previous ones, you had a lot of sort of like, you would have like a series of like what are more standard sort of songs with like very limited, just 4-bar solos or 8-bar solos or something in the middle. And then there'd be these epic jams kind of bookending the sets. This one seems a little more all over the place in a really good way. We get some songs on this that have not been released so far on in this series, including a Recreational Chemistry, which is absolutely fantastic. I would call that the sort of tweezer of Mo, you know, the one epic song you hope they play because you don't know. It could go on for like 30 minutes. They're Dark Star, not quite as Dark Starry as Dark Star, but Rec Chem to me is like the big Mo song. So a 3-disc set. It's got the complete show on here from 7/18/98 in Illinois. Disc 1 is most of the first set. One song goes over to the second disc. Opens up with Threw It All Away, a nice short song, kind of like nice, like ska-y, reggae type. Threw it all away, hey, hey, you know, nice, funky, good lyrics, good early song of theirs. That's followed by St. Augustine, which is one of their like, not really a very type 1 tied together type jammy song, but really nice slide guitar action on this. Just some nice, like an opening sort of jam before they drop into the song. A lot of really kind of like not fade away-ish, Samson and Delilah-ish drum action, you know, very busy on that front drum-wise. But kind of a nice, loose, jammy song. Then we get Waiting for the Punchline, another longer sort of rock thing that has this sort of like jammy middle part in the middle that's a little like back porch country-ish, washboard-ish sounding. Complained about this song on a previous release because I think it was in the second set, and I don't think the jam in it goes enough places. But in the first set, especially following St. Augustine, I think it works. I think it gives this set a little more breathing room and just lets them kind of loosen up a little bit and explore before we get to the monster songs towards the end of the set. We get a really nice Happy Hour Hero with a really nice guitar solo. An awesome Backwoods, which is kind of a country hoedown, Uncle Pen type thingy. First time that's been released on this series, a nice little song. I don't think it's been officially released on one of their studio albums. And then to close out disc 1, we get a YOY, really awesome little cool song that has an awesome jam at the end, an awesome solo that goes on for about 5 or 6 minutes that eventually works its way into a really, really, really nice Recreational Chemistry. Recreational Chemistry, lyrics are about recreational chemistry. I think the guitar interplay, the way just the way the entire band interacts, it's such a like psychedelic journey, and it's just one of those in which the flavors just slowly develop. The jam, it just takes its time, has this really nice sort of like volcanic energy peak in which as the solo goes on, it just progressively gets more and more crazy. It's like an owl-led solo. But when we reach that peak, it's just kind of like, we reach like a peak and then it's just like, we kind of just like, it doesn't really explode and end. It just kind of like fades out, and then Rob does a little like soloing and we go back to the song proper. But it's a really, not the longest Rec Chem. There are definitely much longer Rec Chems out there. Maybe not officially released. But on Nugsnet, which has a lot of Mo shows. But just a really, really good listen. An incredible song. The guitar playing on this, fantastic. The interplay between the two guitarists is amazing. Just, it's such a trippy, it really highlights the strengths of this band. I think the YOY, that segue jam into Rec Chem, and the Rec Chem, it's just such an exhilarating, I don't know, it's like 30 plus minutes of music, if I'm not mistaken. Probably should have, I don't have the times on this release. But I think it's like a 30-minute segment. Yeah, it's close to 30 minutes, just short of 30 minutes, the entire thing. And that's the end of disc 1. The disc 2 finishes off set 2 with The Harder They Come. Awesome song. Love that song. One of the great early reggae Jimmy Cliff song. Absolutely fantastic. And that closes out, opens up disc 2, closes out set 1. Then disc 2 continues on with set 2, and we get a monster Dr. Grafenberg to open up, about 22 minutes long. You get your Dr. Grafenberg with a really nice solo in there. That eventually kind of breaks down into a really nice, like, raw bass solo lead thing. Not like a solo bass solo, but a bass lead jam. Then we get the end of the song, and then we go into a really nice, another just really long, lengthy jam after Dr. Grafenberg ends proper. Probably goes on for 7-8 minutes. Starts to get some really kind of dark Middle Eastern energy at times, kind of similar to that Spine of a Dog that is bonus track, I think, on volume 1 or maybe volume 2. But just some really kind of sinister, almost like Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, darkness energy, but a little more intense and upbeat, just going some great places. And then that eventually goes into a full-on Hava Nagila jam, complete with Hav singing the vocals. They do it a couple times, one more time, and everybody sings Hava Nagila. Doesn't need to go on as long as it does, but the jam to get there is fantastic. Like, this is a 22 plus minute Dr. Grafenberg. The entire thing just works. Kappa just, and like sort of the whipped cream on the top, the sort of climactic ending is that Hava Nagila jam. That goes into a fantastic time ed, like a 17-minute time ed. The guitar playing, time ed has like a lot of the improvisational guitar playings in the beginning, like I think it's Chuck Ladd, and Chuck's exploring of a lot of ideas. This one seems to subvert a lot of normal time ed ideas, and Chuck is really exploring and kind of pushing the boundaries of what is a time ed, while still very much staying in a snack time ed type mode. This one usually has a drum solo in the middle, and then that goes into like a drum-based jam, which makes it usually not one of my favorite songs to hear, because as much as I love the intro part, I'm not in for the drum solo. This is a pretty short drum solo. It seems like it's refreshingly short. And then Rob comes in with his jam. And even when Rob comes in, it seems like Chuck or Al are already in there with some rhythm guitar. So it definitely has a little more of a dynamic jam than just drums bass. Excellent, excellent jam in the middle. They come out of that. Some more guitar soloing. Finish the song up. We get a Water then. A lot of Rob written songs in this set. I think Dr. G, Time Ed, and Water are all Rob songs. Yeah, a lot of Rob songs, no Chuck songs. Why, oh, why? But the Water's nice. It's got some sort of dual guitar leads by Chuck and Al that are pretty cool. And then the entire thing closes off with there's a bonus hidden track on there of a Brent Black into Lowrider into a Brent Black that's actually pretty cool. I don't think that's actually listed on the disc. It's not. It's like a little hidden track at the end of there. See, it ends with 6 Water. And then we get for disc 3, we get a fantastic Yoda Little into Rebubula to open up. Yoda Little, like Rec Chem, is one of those great songs in which the interplay between the two guitarists is just magical, and it's just effortless, and the way they kind of weave in and out. And there are so many sort of melodic lines in different sections of Yoda Little that they play with, and they expand, and they kind of, it's just such a awesome, it's just Mo at its best. Recreational chemistry, Yoda Little. I think Mo at its absolute best. This is a fantastic Yoda Little. After the song Proper dies, there's a nice segue jam that kind of slowly works its way towards Rebubula. And there's a really good, healthy 4 or 5 minutes where it's, you can hear that they're going into Rebubula, but you can also still hear echoes of Yoda Little. And so those two together, I think, are really, really cool. And it's neat to just sort of like be in that nowhere man's land where both those songs are being heard, but at the same time, it's something new and creative. And then after the rebubula, the middle section of that, it kind of gets quiet. And then there's this part in the middle where they like drop it and they like up the jam again. The part before the drop is like 6 or 7 minutes long. It's this ambient piece. It's kind of floating. It's out there. They really take their sweet time with that. Then when they drop into the jam, usually the post-drop jam is pretty short and concise, but it reaches a point when it looks like they're going to peak it, and then Chuck kind of brings things back down with sort of like gathering energy, where he's like just playing like some low notes and like doing these like licks to kind of like get the momentum build up again. But he purposefully brings it back down in order to like take one more shot at this like climactic ending. It's like a good 10, 11 minute middle section, when like I think the studio version is maybe a minute total, a minute and a half. A lot of the live versions are like 3 or 4 minutes. This is a really, really, really healthy rebubula. Like the whole thing is about 30 minutes long. Awesome post. When the song's normally going to end, they just keep jamming and jamming and jamming and start to go a little back roads, country, kind of hoedown vibe. And they eventually slide right into a really long, healthy, well jammed out I Know You Rider. Very country I Know You Rider. It's not the Dead's version. It's like, I know you rider. You know, they're leaning into that part. Awesome climax, peak to the second set. This is all on disc 3 so far. The Yodelittle Rebubula is like 50 minutes long. After you go into I Know You Rider, that entire thing, those 3 songs are like an hour plus. It's just epic jamming, like an almost perfect disc 3, which becomes a then perfect disc 3 because the encore is Bearsong. Ridiculously great song. It's got a Rock of Ages, Untag Lieben, Glauben Globen reference. It's got a Looking for Soul Food and a Place to Eat reference. Really awesome lyrics about a bear. It's got a great groove. It's got an awesome little jam in the middle. The rhythm behind the guitar solo is absolutely fantastic and kind of funky. Yeah, an absolutely fantastic third disc. This is a really amazing show. Great song selection, diversity, healthy jams, like 3 in the show, not counting the bonus track, healthy jams. YOY into Rechem, 30 minutes of absolutely amazingness. Dr. Grafenberg into Havanagilia, 30 minutes of amazingness. Yodelittle into Rebubula into I Know You Rider, 60 plus minutes of just Mo at their peak. A fantastic show. I recommend this if you're new to Mo. I think it is the strongest of the 4 so far. I would definitely put it at number 1. The jams are just epic. And when they're not jamming, the songs that they've chosen to play are really, really good songs and provide a nice diverse selection of Mo-ness. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a Mo fan. I like them. Those are my thoughts on this release. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you check it out. Let me know if there are any Mo fans out there. Subscribe, like, share, comment, do all those things. And yeah, go listen to this. It's a really, really good listen. Yeah. All right. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Peace. Talk to you later.